Your Excellency, it is a real treat to be with you here on this incredible stage. We had the fortune of meeting, I think, the first time at the Saudi-US Investment Forum in Riyadh, and the excitement and investment that the kingdom is making into artificial intelligence, it's really unique in the world, I think. And I would love to start our conversation by just hearing a little bit more about the Saudi Kingdom's vision for building an AI ecosystem. And in particular, we've had conversations before about what it takes to build a sustainable ecosystem, something you've thought quite a bit about, and would love to hear your thoughts.
Well, thank you. First of all, hello? Can you hear me?
I think the microphone.
Is the mic on? Testing. Oh.
There we go.
There we go.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, nice seeing you again. And maybe I start off by congratulating the ITU on 160 years of leading digital transformation globally. So happy birthday, ITU, and wishing you more successes to come. Yes, the vision under the leadership of His Royal Highness on AI in Saudi Arabia has been very exciting indeed. And really the way we approach the ecosystem, not very different from when we did our digital transformation, when we did our Vision 2030 process. We thought about all the enablers that we can provide as a government or as a private sector to enable investment and growth. If we think back to the digital transformation that happened in Saudi over the past, I would say, 12 years, it started with a massive investment package between the government, the Universal Service Fund, and the operators. $25 billion went into upgrading the infrastructure to the amazing infrastructure we have in today. We think about the same when it comes to AI. AI is not cheap. It comes expensive. It requires expensive infrastructure. And that's why we've partnered with the likes of Google and Amazon and Microsoft to build really world-class AI-enabled cloud in Saudi Arabia. We've also, under PIF, the Public Investment Fund, worked out or created a company called Humane, which is sort of the national champion for AI in Saudi Arabia. And recently, during President Trump's visit to Saudi Arabia, major deals were announced to kind of enable the acceleration of AI in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They did a deal, for example, with AMD around $10 billion, a deal with AWS for $5 billion, and a deal with Quantum for about $2 billion. These are all co-investments. And it brings AI not only in the data center and the cloud, but also to the edge, which is very, very important for us in Saudi. Being an oil and gas industry, we can really benefit a lot from that. Another key and very important milestone for us or a pillar for us is talent. Like everything we do, it's all rooted in our human capital and how we can really rely on the innovation coming out of Saudi to accelerate an AI ecosystem. We've invested in training around 170,000 people over the past, I would say, 4 or 5 years in subjects like cybersecurity, cloud, and AI, programming, and what have you. These skills are extremely necessary to kind of accelerate the growth. And we've seen that reflect into the number of people that work in our sector. We grew from 150,000 people working in the ICT sector to more than 380,000 today. And we're very proud even with the diversity within the sector. We started around 7% of women empowerment within the sector. We're up to 35% in Saudi, which is sort of best in class, really. And within all of that, we're also bringing the ability to teach software development using AI with no coding background to students in elementary grades and what have you, just to get them excited and be able to really be at ease in adopting AI. And I guess even from a regulator and government perspective, having the right sandboxes to allow innovators and startups to really operate protected from unknown regulations or laws that might affect their business, because we're dealing really with a very, very new subject globally.
Yeah. The question of regulation, of course, is one that's being discussed all around the world. And in my own country, very different views on how to approach the regulation of AI, the balance with innovation versus safeguards. I'm curious to hear, the kingdom has such an opportunity to chart a course on how it wants to regulate AI. What's your perspective on the different ways to approach that regulation, and what are you seeing working so far?
So our approach to this, we really think that history is a great predictor of the future, right? So if we do draw parallels from previous industries, so for example, the aviation industry, they started with frameworks and guidelines that, as the industry picked up in the 40s and the 50s, then treaties and regulation came, whether it's for safety or to facilitate travel or what have you. The same with digital. At the start of the digital or digitization revolution globally, with the internet era and what have you, it was very important to have guidelines around cybersecurity and cloud. And now these have moved from guidelines into cybersecurity controls, laws, data laws, and what have you. So at the beginning, each industry, our view is it should have a consensus around guidelines and principles. Then we move into regulation. In Saudi, we do have data or regulation that regulates data and obviously cybersecurity. And we believe this is enough for now. And we have focused over the past couple of years around guidelines on AI ethics, deep fakes, misinformation, and what have you. And we really believe that this needs a multilateral approach. So we're very active on forums such as the ITU and the AI for Good and what have you, to really drive consensus globally. We did that in the G20 back in 2020, before AI was a thing, to really get a consensus around AI for humanity, for the good of humanity. And we hope to carry that works in many other forums, and potentially in a few years when this beast that's AI is formally shaped and we know where it's heading and the use cases for it, then maybe we could have obligations through regulations and what have you.
I love the way you said before AI was a thing. That's how you always know someone who's been in the field really for a long time, because there's a lot of excitement, but you have been going back to an illustrious career in engineering in the private sector, have been building the framework for this for quite some time. How are you addressing the challenges of building an AI ecosystem? I mean, we've spoken about some of them, but access to data, quality data, access to compute and energy, algorithmic bias, something that the kingdom has done a great job thinking about and speaking about. How is the kingdom taking steps to address some of those issues?
Sure. The ITU has been amazing in trying to tackle the digital divide. The divide in connectivity, the divide in skills, talent, etc. AI is going to bring, we think, a whole set of divides that didn't exist before. Like you mentioned, a compute and power divide, an algorithmic divide, and a data divide. We see these are the three most critical probably as we head into the future. On the compute and power divide, AI is going to need around 63 gigawatts by 2030. That's more than the electricity produced in India. And that's going to be a challenge. There's a handful of countries that can really do training for frontier models. It costs around $100 million to train a frontier model. These are all challenges that threaten the division globally and not having equal access. Saudi has been blessed by having an amazing energy mix, a very stable energy mix, and affordable energy mix. So we're glad that some of the investments we've done in that sector are now paying off in another sector. So I think we're very well positioned to be very resourceful for our region, even for the globe, when it comes to power and compute. Recently, we had a partnership between Aramco Digital and a company called Grok, which produces inferencing chips. And they've launched their global AI inferencing center in Dammam. And within the first day, there were 1 billion tokens generated through that center. 70% of Grok's global traffic goes there. And part of the reason why is that they produce the lowest token per dollar cost globally. I think it's maybe 30 to 35% less than anywhere in the world. So I think that's an advantage that Saudi has and would like to offer globally. The second one is a little bit more tricky with algorithm divides. As you know, algorithms are trained on a certain type of data, but not all data are equal. You being a doctor, as a medical doctor in background, you would understand that genetics play a big role in medicine, and it differs from one region to another, one country to another. So it's very important that countries have sovereign LLMs that are trained on the country data that by engineers and scientists from that data, from that country. We're proud of Alam. It's a Saudi LLM that has significant training on Arabic data, something we can offer to the Arabic world. It ranks number one in Arabic LLMs as part of many global rankings. But also there's a lot of excitement for the startup community to kind of create variations of these large language models. And it's going to be very critical for nations going forward. Last but not least is the data divide. As you probably know, most of the data globally is proprietary, and that's a big challenge. 70% of the IP in the R&D in AI comes from only 10 countries. So the way we tackle this is through upskilling and reskilling and making sure we have the right infrastructure to host the data locally, encourage entities and companies to localize their data and make it available to other Saudi entities. But these three type of divides, nations are going to have to struggle with them going forward. And the more we're tackling it up front, the easier our life is going to be the next few years, and we don't have to deal with 2.6 billion people unconnected like we did with the digital divide.
Well, thank you for that. It is wonderful to hear the vision and principles that are guiding a thoughtful approach to AI innovation. I should add my thanks to the UN and the ITU. My firm, law firm, has founded the AI Law and Justice Institute with the support of the United Nations to work from a legal perspective towards some of these same goals. But to see it at the state level is inspiring. I know you have many pressing matters today to get to, but I would be remiss before we end if I didn't end on a positive note and ask you, with all this infrastructure and investment, what are you most excited about with the AI future?
I'm very optimistic about AI. It excites me. I really see the upside more than the downside, like some people do. So the glass is way more than half full. But if we talk about specifically in Saudi Arabia, it's very easy to get excited about AI in Saudi with the, under the leadership of His Royal Highness, very ambitious, wants to do a lot with AI. He believes it can open up a lot when it comes to our economic diversification, increasing productivity, and thus contributing to our GDP. But specifically, I think two areas where I think why AI is very exciting in Saudi. First of all is the talent. The number of AI startups that we're seeing in Saudi is incredible. You can see it with the VC firms just doubling down their investments in AI in Saudi. And the ideas that people are working on, whether it's tackling genetic diseases, whether it's tackling diabetes, or increasing productivity and safety in the oil wells, or improving decision making. So, a lot is being done by the startup ecosystem and entrepreneurship. Also, a lot is being done in the R&D community in the universities to tackle some of the issues we have in Saudi Arabia. Water scarcity, climate, greenery are all challenges we face on a daily basis in Saudi. And we really believe that AI can really revolutionize the way we think about these problems. Energy sector, as we move from carbon-based energy to renewable and hydrogen, and a great combination of solar and wind, AI is going to be very critical to balance these loads and really help us do it very, very, very efficiently. The second thing is the giga projects that we have in Saudi Arabia. You have NEOM, which is a futuristic city that redefines urban living, and it's all based on automation and AI. So a lot of opportunity there. It's going to be, I think, one of the greatest test beds globally on how AI can improve human life. Giddi is another giga project where it's promising to be the entertainment city or capital of the world, where we combine esports with traditional entertainment, with amusement parks and media. So you can just imagine what AI can do there, with visualization, with the arts, with media, etc. Last but not least is the Red Sea project, where today AI is helping us being sustainable there and really preserving the ecosystem of the Red Sea and on all of the treasures that are above and below the water there. So in a nutshell, it's exciting times if you're an AI geek like me to be in Saudi Arabia.
Well, I share your enthusiasm as a fellow AI geek, and I feel fortunate, and on behalf of all of us, to have just a little bit of your time to hear the clarity of the kingdom's vision, and the execution on that vision is very exciting, and I think helps us chart a really exciting course. So thank you for sharing some of your thoughts with us and being with us today.
Well, thank you for listening, and thank you for taking the time today and being a great friend of the kingdom. It's always a pleasure seeing you, Dan.
Nice to see you. Thank you.